Well, fish and chips served by our local Chippy, as we call it in the UK, is the taste of the British summer. But this year it's the chippies themselves getting battered. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has sent fuel and energy prices soaring, jacking up the cost of both the fishing and the frying. Prices of cod and haddock are up 75% in a year, sunflower oil by 60% and flour prices by 40%. TikTok has saved the day for one fryer in Coventry. The Binley mega chippy has incredibly racked up millions of views online after a catchy song about the chippy went viral.
This is hilarious.
Binley mega chippy, Binley mega chippy, Binley mega chippy, Binley mega chippy.
It's sort of catchy, I guess. I'm joined now by Frank Nakra, whose family owns the Binley mega chippy. Frank, great to talk to you. Can I just ask you, how tough is it right now to be in your line of work, given these extraordinary escalating prices?
Hi Piers, how you doing? It's a very, very difficult time of year, and it's with all the rising prices and the war in Ukraine. It's very, very difficult to actually maintain the margins and keep the staff on without having to raise prices too much. But we've managed to balance it out really well.
I mean, what you've done brilliantly is you've used TikTok to turn yourselves into a global phenomenon. Well,
the viral jingle that you've just been listening to, thank you for having done it, but we've obviously benefited in a massive way from it. And obviously we've set up our own accounts, obviously my account. I'll put it on little TikTok reels and some Instagram, and to push it even further to gain more publicity. And obviously it's TV, press and interviews. But yes, it's certainly helped, and helped create a lot of business and for the future as well.
If you could have a word with Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, what would you most want him to do right now for businesses like you?
Take the VAT back to 5%, that would be a great help.
Yeah, well, good point. We'll put it to him. If he has the gumption to come on the show, I'll ask him. Frank, good luck to you. I love the jingle. I love the business you're doing. I love the fact you're defying this, near recession now and doing a roaring trade. And next time I'm up there, I'll come and have a nice cod and chips with you.
I wish you would. And if I send you a T-shirt, this is all for charity. We've got something I've designed with me and a supplier. There's a website where you can actually buy all our merchandise, this particular merchandise, and every single penny that we make from that will go to charity.
You're
if
on.
I get a T-shirt to you and a mug, will you actually wear it on your show?
I probably wouldn't wear it on the show, but I might do it for social media for you, just to try and capitalise on your TikTok fame. Frank, good to talk to you. Get back to work.
Thank you very much, Piers. Take care, yeah?
All the best to you. Well, John and Esther, bit of fun. Oh, hang on, there's somebody at the door. Who could that be?
Morgan's mega chippy, Morgan's mega
Thank you.
Oh my God!
I've already had mine today.
I know.
Now, John, what do you know? You've already had one fish and chip today. How often do you get stuck into two of them? I've got to say, these are very good. They're from local, I think, Ealing, right?
Okay.
Have a tip, please, Piers.
Just quickly, your reaction. I mean, on a...
Tip.
No, get out of it. Your tip is that you get to work with me every day. Let me just ask you, on a serious point, the amount these guys are having to pay extra just in the last 6 months alone because of inflation, Ukraine, all these things, and post-pandemic, really tough out there. What did you think of his idea of reducing VAT?
Well, I can understand why it would help him, but of course we have already an enormous debt burden, which we accumulated during COVID, and to ask the Chancellor to find a measure which would cost an awful lot of money, I think it's better to target the help on those who really need it. But I do want to say one thing about what Frank was saying, because Frank is struggling, but there is behind the problems Frank is facing what I fear is going to become a global crisis.
Yeah.
Because if you look at those parts of the world that depend on Ukraine for their grain supplies, for their oil supplies, potentially we are looking at a humanitarian
I completely agree. I think this is going completely unnoticed by large swathes of people, is that what's going on in Ukraine, the stranglehold they have on things like flour, oil and stuff like that could be devastating in many parts of the world.
Yes.
Esther, Hey, great to see you eating
know,
fish
I
and
know,
chips. I know
I
you're a
did.
fitness fanatic, so
I know.
I hope I haven't put back your regime.
Just by a few weeks.
What do you make, though, of you've got the fish and chip guy there, just a local business. We were hearing one of the crew, actually, his dad's been working in fish and chip shops, and 3 of them have shut down in the last year. I mean, this is devastating.
I mean, so many shops on my high street have shut down, and I see it all over the place, And you were saying that food prices are increasing all over the world. I believe wheat prices in Egypt have gone up by 250%. Can you imagine? They're the largest consumers of wheat in the world, and overnight, the price they're paying has gone up 250%.
And the longer the war goes on, the worse this is going to get.
And there's 25 million tonnes of grain sitting in the port of Odessa, and they can't get it out.
And
because of the
Putin,
Russian blockade.
Putin knows all this.
Yeah.
Right, so part of his strategy is to put a stranglehold on energy and resources and food, because he knows eventually we may have to wilt.
But we have to break the gridlock, right? Because we can't just keep funneling money to this war that we don't see an end in sight. I think that's a bigger problem as well, because these problems are just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse.
You know what? There's a lot of bad stuff going on out there. Have your fish and chips. And let's just try and enjoy at least that.